It's Monday, February 13th, 2023 at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time, USA. I'm Mitch Miller. This is my video journal. I know in the last one, you in here, Zeld? Zelda's in here joining us. I know in the last one, I said I was going to talk about a game show. That's tomorrow. I am still going to do that one tomorrow. I forgot to say something on the last one, and I wanted to go into another little diatribe. This system with the curbs, street curbs, and the electrical mini grids, street by street little mini grids, this could be incorporated into every military base in the United States. You could fund this, the military could fund this, fund my furnace company, Smart Home Furnace, mini electrical grid company. I'm going to try to do it on my own through Ken's campground and things like that. But again, the military could hire me as a contractor to develop this technology and fund me in various different ways. And we could have microgrids on U.S. military bases to test it out and to build the technology and then have it owned by every military personnel or something like that. You know, some people don't want smart homes because they don't want these huge billionaire corporations monitoring their house. But I hear other people say, I don't mind if the government watches me because I'm not doing anything wrong. Well, for those people, then maybe they would embrace their smart homes being monitored by, or at least owned by, like a military collective, but monitored by individual police stations. So I just wanted to say that. Another thing that I wanted to bring up about the government-issued pornography program that I think would cut reliance on the intelligence community, the intelligence agencies to monitor people's private internet networks. So the pornography program, I suggested government employees pose for pictures that can then be distributed on a USB drive to other government employees. They would wear masks to protect their identity, Mardi Gras masks, Guy Fawkes masks, so on and so forth. But the body would still be displayed. So I suggested doing it on the 250-acre lease that me and Ken and my dad are all on. Maybe you don't want to drive all the way up here. Maybe the outdoor pics aren't the best, or you're worried about somebody hiding in the bushes. I could always come to DC and we could do a photo shoot in your bedroom or living room in your apartment around DC. I can bring some lighting equipment. I have my camera, my tripod, and we could I could stay in DC and take pictures at certain points in time. So that's an option. As I said, maybe a $2 per household investment by the government. You fund my photography setup for, you know, several $100,000, and I'm able to pay the subjects $500-600 per photo shoot, plus they would be the founding members of PennyClick, a site devoted to providing guilt-free pornography that doesn't condone sex trafficking, human slavery in any way. But back to our mini grids, back to our own electrical grids, the people owning their own electrical grid, building sustainable infrastructure, and I want to talk about military leadership, why I say that they might be on the cowardly side. It's not really their fault. I think it's just that they're nearsighted, and they won't. Obviously they refuse to hire people like me who can think decades in advance to change the course of our society, our military goals, and things like that. My example would be the past 40 years. Really the past 70 years, but I'll go into that. But the intelligence agencies have always been involved in energy generation, energy companies, and my example is in the 80s, 90s, we had multiple wars for humanitarian purposes, but really most people accept that it was so that we would be friendly with oil producing nations so that we could have the oil because we weren't producing enough oil here in the United States. Now back in the 80s when the oil crisis happened, had thinkers like me been in the government in place, consulting with the military, we could have said we're going to double down on battery powered vehicles way back in the 80s. Oil is going to run out. We have vast coal reserves, and we have an abundance of coal, and we have an abundance of ways to extract coal from the ground. So we're going to shift to electrical powered vehicles. We had the technology back then. We could have pushed the technology back then and transitioned, we'll say, half of the vehicles on the road to being coal powered, nuclear powered, electrical powered. Instead, we fought multiple wars in oil-rich nations. Thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people were definitely affected, and some, obviously thousands, died, were killed in these wars. This continued into the 2000s till just recently. Drone strikes, terrorist people angry that the United States was meddling with their nations. Very clear that they were interested in energy reserves. And so there you have it. So we could have doubled down on electrical battery powered vehicles in the 80s. But people like their wars. Profit is made from war. The military leadership listen to the intelligence agencies, guide them into war, and so that's my point with these mini grids. I guess the point is, and you can see what's going to happen with the intelligence agencies and infrastructure in the United States. You have random people attacking substations with guns, rifles, knocking out power to cities, attempting to knock out power to cities. And what's the government going to do? Invest in infrastructure, in hardening these substations, building high walls around them, monitoring them with cameras, satellites, everything that the intelligence agencies are involved in to protect the infrastructure. Instead, they could invest millions, billions in these mini grids. If you had hundreds of thousands of mini grids throughout the United States, it would be impossible for one lone gunman to shut down huge portions of cities. They would have to literally knock out 5 houses at a time, and they would be caught before they probably made it to 20 houses. Right? But everyone's nearsighted. We're going to build high walls around the substations. We're going to put more cameras on them. We're going to put armed guards and pay people $60,000 a year to stand guard at the substations. That's bigger government, right? That's more government employees, instead of the people owning the power grid. And the last thing I'll close with is, you could say there were some wars fought, Korea, Vietnam, because of the scourge of communism, fighting against communism spreading throughout the world. That's why we went to war before the oil companies, before the energy consumption went through the roof, and we needed cheap energy, and we fought our wars for that. We fought because we were afraid communism was going to spread. And communism doesn't work very well because it's not done correctly. It's got corruption and money involved and oligarchs. Capitalism doesn't work the way it's supposed to be. It should be focused on small businesses, small and regional businesses providing all of our goods and services. Instead, we have corporate communism where only a few billionaires own all the means of production. This isn't capitalism we live under. It's corporate communism. There's an elite ruling class that are communists, basically. They want to create as little competition as possible. Anyway, my point with communism is you went to war, but you could have strategically welcomed college professors from communist nations to defect. You could have used the media in the United States to explain exactly what aspects of communism weren't working, what problems there were with communism, microeconomics, macroeconomics of it, what were the problems with communist regime. But then that would have improved the communist nations probably. They would have seen this media and probably improved their systems and eventually maybe, I don't know. People are so power hungry, people love their power, and they manipulate any system to be powerful and important. Anyhow, that's my idea how you could fight communism, is explain exactly what doesn't work. Don't just say it's horrible, there's atrocious things happening, people are tortured and beaten, and that happens in communism, but as you can see from me, I was put in solitary confinement. I'm being censored on the internet through a library system, access to computers for low-class people, or people who are avoiding being tracked. They can't access my website. So you criticize one nation, but really the same thing's happening here in the United States. That's all I have to say. Let's get out of the pockets of big energy. Let's make microgrids. Let's hire someone like me, or at least contract with me, who has the sight to look far downstream and figure out what we need to do and adjustments we need to make now, so that we can be a strong nation, a sustainable nation. People are empowered. We have true capitalism where people make money from their properties. People get their goods from reputable places that are transparent. We have transparency in business so that we can make informed decisions about what products we buy. We have transparency in the government so that we know if lobbyists are affecting the way our country runs. All of these things I've proposed, and I don't know why no one has approached me to even purchase a picture, a photograph, something like that, just to fund some of my projects. Thanks for watching. Join me tomorrow when I talk about that game show. And yeah, thanks.